Kingdoms of Amalur is like a single-player MMO with aspects of a typical Bethesda game tossed in. You can pickpocket, lockpick, persuade people, repair items, and make potions, for instance. Another feature it carries from Bethesda games is the ability to kill innocent NPCs. Just press up on the D-pad and you can hack and slash all those helpless civilians to your heart's content. While there are a few missions where this is utilized, like the evil route to the Widow's Quest, it's mostly just there for a bit of stress relief. But what if you stretched the limits of this game and found out how far you could go as a homicidal maniac? That's the question I asked today, as I try to beat Kingdoms of Amalur by killing everyone in the game. This is more of a fun experiment than a serious challenge, so there's no strict set of rules for me to follow. I don't have to run around the map and kill literally everyone that exists, only the NPCs that I come across. I don't have to kill the NPCs immediately, but they do have to die at some point. Also, there are quite a few NPCs that respawn constantly. Finally, I'll be doing this whole run on normal difficulty, as this is my first time showing this game on my channel, and I want to keep things simple to start. Now, with all that out of the way, let's begin. The main premise of this game is that a sect of the Fae, immortals made of magic, have gone rogue and decided to wipe out all mortals from the face of the planet. Named the Tuatha, we were killed while in battle with them, and our corpse has been sent to a lab, attuned to a construct called the Well of Souls that was made to bring people back to life. I may have cheated death, but soon we'll see how many others can say the same. For my race, I choose Dockelfar, a fancy way of saying Dark Elf, as they get a bonus to stealth right off the bat. Sneaking seems like the most efficient way to kill everyone I meet. To the surprise of no one, I choose the God of Death to be my patron. The critical hit bonuses will sync well with my roguish nature. I make myself look like an overly edgy OC, and to top it off, I name myself Grim Reaper. Donut Steel.
Better luck next time.
After leaving a corpse sleepover, I run through the lab and grab a sword before being properly introduced to the antagonist, the Tuatha. To let you know they're 100% the bad guys, they have the soldiers kill a defenseless woman in front of you. I'm more upset that they stole my EXP, honestly. I was curious if this battle between the Tuatha and the gnome would ever end, so I stood there and watched for a while. It seems they're locked in an endless stalemate, however, so I continue on and kill the first enemies of any RPG, rats. Soon after, we meet Encel, who's hiding from some Tuatha behind a pile of boxes. Despite loudly calling out for help, they're somehow unable to just look around the boxes and find him. This may seem ridiculous, but once you see what stealth can do later on, it's actually par for the course. Luckily, the trained immortal soldiers with proper equipment can't stand up to a recently dead man in rags with a rusty sword, so I'm able to save Encel and immediately try to finish what the Tuatha started. However, my attacks pass right through him like I'm playing Morrowind with zero fatigue, and there's no option to turn on aggressive mode yet. Therefore, he gets to live for the time being. There are a few more enemies that teach you about blocking, archery, sneaking, and magic, but nothing different from a normal playthrough. The other gnomes also can't be hurt, but we'll see them once we escape the lab. Maybe we can deal with them out there? I listened to the soothing ASMR of the Well of Souls that I'm gonna add a lot to soon. And meet Formerus Hughes, the one who brought me back to life. Our meeting is cut short by the Tuatha, who kill Encel, so me not being able to doesn't matter. Thanks, but it's still not enough to stop me from killing you all. As for the troll, I first take care of his backup while chipping away at him. Then I dodge in and out to take pot shots at him until I can combo him into a corner, finish him off with 2 shock spells, and throw a spear made of solidified fate through his face, as one does. Escaping the lab levels me up, where I put a point into stealth, get a dagger charge attack, a shadow spell, and increase my sneak attack damage. Unfortunately, I can't turn the survivors into statistics.
I'm so glad the life the Will saved was that of a gleeful killer.
Although there is one gnome I can kill at least.
But why?
For now, I head to Stone Candle Mines to hopefully get some good starter gear. The kobolds in here are quite slow and throw their spears on a timer. As long as you can time your dodges when they do so and isolate them, they aren't so bad. I even get some sneak kills on a few of them. Cracking some locked chest open gets me a set of poison daggers and some boots that let me resist bleed and poison, which will serve me well early game. Meeting up with Agarth, a Fate Weaver whom Hughes told me about, have to defend him from some Tuatha. While I take out the first few with a mix of magic and knifemanship, the second group I take out using one of this game's unique mechanics, Reckoning Mode. After killing enough enemies, you can basically activate an I win button that slows time, increases your damage, and decreases the damage you take. Then you can trade giving yourself Carpal Tunnel for bonus EXP with a Mortal Kombat Fatality QuickTime event. Agarth reveals that we can do this due to being unbound by fate, and that I should get the opinion of another Fate Weaver out in the wilderness. Since Agarth is one of the most important characters for the main plot, you're not allowed to attack or kill him at any point. I know because I tried to at every available opportunity. Similar to Riverwood and Skyrim, I start my exploits in Gorhart by immediately murdering a chicken. Unlike Skyrim, this doesn't piss off the townsfolk in the slightest. I attempt to do the same to a armadillo buffalo thing, but it takes a while. Alright, now to start my murder rampage properly. After killing the alchemist and another chicken, I get my first taste of how broken stealth is when I attack this guard openly, hide a few feet away from him, and then backstab him as he suddenly loses interest. It's only gonna get more ridiculous from here. When I head outside, the injured Fae, who I just killed a moment ago, has revived herself. Some NPCs in this game are essential, like in Fallout or the Elder Scrolls. You can kill them as many times as you like, but they'll just come back after a short time. Their essential status might go away after you do their quest, I'm not really sure, but since I have to kill everyone anyway, I'm not going to be able to find out. I ignore her in favor of cleaning up the rest of Gorhart. This moment really highlights the stupidity of stealth. I hide in the corner behind a table and chair. The guards saw me roll in here. Then they run straight into my face, where I backstab one right in front of another, and then hide behind his back and stab him as well. Even stealth in the Elder Scrolls isn't this broken, at least not this early in the game. Also, no, I checked. Gaining access to aggressive mode doesn't allow you to kill the survivors in Alstar. As far as I know, those guys are unkillable for the rest of the game. A bit more senseless murder later, I level up and put a point into alchemy, daggers, and 2 points into sneak attacks. Alchemy is mainly going to be for making health potions, as I never remember to use other potions in this game. I then head into the prison and free all the convicts inside, who, for some reason, try to punch me to death. Talk about ungrateful. With Gorhart little more than a ghost town, I leave, fighting Caesar's Legion and some scrub shrubs until I come across Severi Brond, an NPC I can't kill. After putting down the wolf in a man's body and the girl obsessed with drama, I try to see if I can get monsters to take care of Severi. While some NPCs can be killed by enemies if you let them, Severi is not one of them. Don't worry, there's a way to get her killed later. For now, I follow the main quest into Arden's hut, where I see the Fate Weaver I was supposed to meet cold on the floor, and Alan Shear, aka Miss Fanservice, hovering over him. Unfortunately, I can't introduce her to my knives before she teleports away.
What happened here?
Sorry pal, no witnesses. Oh god damn it. With our main lead a dead end, Agarth suggests that we head to Delok, which contains a library of fate that might make sense of what I am. On the way there, I come across Canarok, a town being raised by giant spiders. Well, who would I be if I didn't finish the job for them? And since Canarok has no guards, this should be easier than ever. This is one of the few instances where attacking innocents is used, as the Widow tells you to kill off Canarok at the end of this town's questline. I'm just one step ahead of her, that's all. Also, here's a bit of a quirk you can exploit if you get detected by an enemy: leashing. In typical MMO fashion, getting too far from an enemy causes them to run back to their spawn point and quickly restore their health. If you get spotted, you can just run away until they lose interest, then try again. Depending on the circumstances, you can even get behind them as they run back and sneak attack them right away. Sneak attacks are just as effective against giant enemies as much as small fry, so you can really cheese some things if you're clever. After maxing out my sneak attack damage, how hard is this task? Well... yeah, the harder they fall.
You are much more dangerous than I thought.
Before reaching the Codex, however, we have to fight some Niskaru. They're essentially demons, beings of pure chaos, but... wait, if I'm unbound by fate, aka a predetermined order to things, doesn't that make me an agent of chaos as well? Shouldn't I get along with these guys? Whatever, while they may be fast and inflict bleeding damage, Agarth acts as an acceptable punching bag while I whittle them down to size. Once that's done, I touch the Destiny Stone, and it breaks apart, giving me the Codex of Destiny. While I'm unable to read it right now, we may be able to find some Fae who can. Some Tuatha soldiers come to stop me, but since I was smart and saved my Reckoning mode, they're not an issue. Also, Agarth is suspicious that Aelin is working for the Tuatha, despite the fact that she just rocked this guy's shit. He's not the sharpest Fate Weaver in the drawer, is he? This is where the main quest branches into two paths. Aelin wants me to decipher the Codex, while Agarth wants to stop the Tuatha from tracking me. I'm gonna go with Aelin's route first, as it seems more important. I'm sure I can handle anything the Tuatha throw at me. On the way to the House of Ballads, I test my Fey Blades on some sprites and brownies. Fey Blades are basically two crescents you strap to your arms and use to blend enemies into a smoothie. Daggers are better for sneak attacks in my experience, while Fey Blades are better for open combat. Speaking of the Fey, while the named ones are unkillable for now, the generic ones like Pledges aren't. Oddly enough, Hallam continues to give his little speech even as his fellow Fey are squished in front of him. Also, why am I being charged with murder if the Fey are immortal? The Fey here are actually pretty tough as they fire homing fireballs and tornadoes at you. The tornadoes are especially hard to dodge as they seem to have heat-seeking capabilities. Even if you dodge them once, they might just loop around and hit you anyway. Even with those setbacks, I'm still able to put the House of Ballads out of commission. Except for the people needed for the main quest, but that's to be expected at this point. Glillinall here doesn't trust me, wonder why that could be, and so I'll have to take the Codex over to someone called Nerolim for confirmation. Before doing that, I'm going to follow up on some people I was unable to kill earlier, Cash, Helic, and Severi. They're planning an expedition into the Teeth of Naros, and while they're unable to be killed right now, that will change very soon. First is Cash, who sadly doesn't die, but upon seeing a dead man made of stone runs like a coward. I'm pretty sure he vanishes from the game at this point, so close enough. Next is Severi, who's supposed to be good with traps and... never mind. Lastly is the leader of the expedition, Helic. He gets wounded by a big bird, and if you hand him a health potion, you can find him alive after completing the main story of this DLC. If you don't, however, I have to assume he dies at some point. Bear in mind, I didn't come here just for that, as you can get some repair kits and easy EXP here, enough to level me up in fact. I put a point into perception and upgrade my Feyblades, daggers, and bows so I could be more versatile. Since I have no interest in doing this DLC right now, I get back on track with the main story. After a few off-brand direwolves bite the dust, I reach the town of Diddenhill and... alright, I think we all know the drill by now, so let's just skip to the end.
That's not what fate says anymore.
Yeah, there's not really much to say at this point besides I show up, kill everyone the game lets me, and move on. Despite having many features of a Bethesda RPG, its MMO roots still show in this regard. This isn't like New Vegas or Morrowind where you can kill anyone you want, it's more linear than that. The main differences between this and a normal playthrough are the lack of side quests, being able to steal anything you want, and because of the lack of vendors, having to rely on loot you find out in the wild. It kinda gives the game more of a survival aspect when you have to rely on repair kits instead of blacksmiths, and alchemy instead of healers. While it isn't completely game-changing, I'd say this type of pure psycho playstyle is interesting enough to give it a try, if only just for fun. Rant aside, we come to the Great Deku Tree, Nerolim.
Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper?
Definitely the second one, who tasked me with defeating a Prismir corrupted troll at the Haxie Dam. Unlike Fallout 3, you can't just... so I have to play along with his wishes. Aelin Shear comes along with you for this mission, but, yeah, your bikini armor ain't gonna protect you from all that. She's actually more of a hindrance, as she tries to follow you, and will lead enemies right to my position. That's bad, as I need to be behind them to sneak attack them. For the rest of the trolls in Tuatha, I just have to go hack and slash, which works surprisingly well. Since I attack so fast, I can easily get the trolls stuck in a combo, dodge out of the way, and continue wailing on them until they go down. As for the Prismir troll, I was smart enough to save my fate meter for her, so she's not a problem in the slightest. Now that the tree has given me permission, I can enter the gardens of...
Our humblest apologies to you, but there are forces that hunt you still, and their eyes burn upon you like the sun. We simply cannot allow such dangers into the Court of Summer.
Oh, you have to complete the other side of the main quest before you can continue. So much for branching paths. I say that, but for Agarth's mission, you do have different ways you can do it. Go for a frontal assault or sneak around the back. I go for the sneaky option, cause, you know, I'm a sneaky sorta guy, and place some ice mines in front of this cage for the bar guest, as I thought they'd be hostile. Turns out, nope, they actually help you fight the Tuatha and aren't hostile to you out of gratitude, even if you attack them. Despite all the helpless peasants I slaughtered, this is actually the first time I felt genuinely bad this whole run. I made friends with a bunch of fluffy murder doggos, and now I have to put them down. Sad, man. Just sad. Whatever, what's done is done, and after smashing the Tuatha's spying mirror to give me 7 years of bad luck, I come face to face with this game's antagonist, who has the same voice actor as the Jarl of Dawnstar.
Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself?
To be honest, it kinda makes him hard to take seriously. Finishing that up gives me access to the Gardens of Ysa, where I romantically hold hands with the High King. He has a vision of Gadflow's mad god, and he instructs me to build up allies so I can face him once and for all. However, Gadflow's not the one they need to fear right now.
What did I do?
So yeah, I can definitively say that no, you can't beat Kingdoms of Amalur by killing everyone. Not only are there essential NPCs that revive over and over, there's NPCs vital to the main quest that can't be touched at all. While the game allows you to kill a vast majority of unimportant townsfolk and wanderers, it doesn't have the same kind of freedom as something like Morrowind or New Vegas, as discussed before. This challenge was kinda doomed from the start, but like I said, it was more of a fun experiment than anything. Despite my failure, it was nice to try something new for once, and I hope you enjoyed a little break from the same games over and over. There are still plenty of challenges I could do for this game, such as fists only or no leveling up, so you might see more of it in the future. Hey everyone, thanks for watching yet another video. I appreciate any support you can give me so I can make similar content for you in the future. If you liked the video, leave a like or subscribe. It only takes a second, but it helps me grow a ton. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike and give constructive criticism so I can improve. Also, leave your ideas for new videos in the comments. I read all the comments that come my way and put your ideas at the end of each video. Who knows, your idea might even become an official video. If you really want to support me, go to my Patreon or become a channel member, which will get you shouted out, guarantee an opportunity to chat with me, and make your ideas much more likely to become reality. Plus, it's only 17 cents a day. Even just 20 subscribers to my Patreon would mean a lot to me, and help me put out even better content. Check me out on Reddit or Discord using the links in the description if you want to chat, or check out my second channel, The Loophole, for some extra content. This is Causal Loop, signing off. Peace.